Well, Dr. Phil's Merit Street Media is filing for bankruptcy and suing Christian television giants Trinity Broadcasting Network and CTC. Filing, the forward-based company accuses the networks of harming its business and contributing to its financial woe.
How I could have gotten through it. He is a trial strategist who is also one of the best psychologists I've ever run into. And I've talked to many psychologists over the years doing this show. And I said to Phil at one point during the trial, if I ever needed therapy, he would be the one I go to. And he said, I don't take clients. So
Dr. Phil was once one of the biggest faces on television, pulling massive ratings and delivering what people saw as must-watch daytime drama. For years, he dominated the airwaves, turning real-life problems into viral moments before viral was even a thing. But somewhere along the way, he faded out of the spotlight. These days, you barely see him like you used to. So what really happened to Dr. Phil? And how did someone that powerful quietly slip off center stage? What a lot of people forget is that Dr. Phil did not come from Hollywood at all. Before the cameras and studio lights, he placed at the right time. In the mid-90s, when Oprah Winfrey found herself facing a major lawsuit, she brought Dr. Phil in to help her prepare. The trial ended in her favor, and Oprah was impressed enough to invite him onto her show as a regular guest. That exposure changed everything. Viewers responded fast, and his calm, confident delivery stood out. By 2002, he had his own show, backed by Oprah herself, and it exploded instantly.
Rated me. Let's see your talent. Let's see your talent, you ugly piece of.
Okay, stop. Hey, look at me.
Let's see your talent.
No, hey.
If you think I exploit people, every time you bring a guest on this show, you exploit them and spread whatever problems they have to the whole world. You think that's helping them?
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. You can go.
We have people dying. 45,000 people a year die from automobile accidents, 480,000 from cigarettes, 360,000 a year from swimming pools, but we don't shut the country down for that, but yet we're doing it for...
Dr. Phil's debut became the highest-rated talk show launch in TV history at the time, pulling in more than 5 million viewers per episode during its first season. The show generated tens of millions of dollars every year and made Phil McGraw a trusted voice in millions of homes. Over time, though, television started to change. By the early 2000s, ratings slowly dipped as audiences moved online. Younger viewers didn't see him as a therapist anymore, but as internet content, especially after a controversial guest moment went viral in 2016 and turned him into a meme instead of an authority figure.
Huh? Catch me outside, how about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
What I just said.
Why would anyone believe that Phil McGraw knows something special clinically?
Dr. Phil really isn't acting in the role of a psychologist at all.
He hasn't practiced since 1990. Now, he had his license until 2006, so even if he did know something, how is he going to apply it in that forum? Again, his show is not designed to deliver therapeutic services.
He's not putting the needs of his clients ahead of his own agenda.
So if Phil McGraw says it's not therapy, and he's not practicing in any way, what is it?
He's an entertainer who has studied psychology and who doesn't even have a license to practice anymore.
Dr. Phil later admitted he was confused by why that moment exploded online, and he talked about it openly during an appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast. That interview briefly introduced him to a whole new wave of younger viewers who only knew him through clips and memes. But that short boost did nothing to fix the real. The truth is, the reasons Dr. Phil faded away had a lot more to do with controversy than changing audiences. Criticism around the show started stacking up fast. Many people accused him of exploiting guests who were clear.
I personally feel they swept this under the rug without even bothering to interview Hannah as a victim.
The suit is the latest accusation of abuse against youth behavioral treatment facilities in Utah. The lawsuit alleges Hannah was forced to perform hours of extra manual labor in extreme conditions while sleeping on a wooden plank.
There was already lawsuits before I went there. There's now many more after, but there was one as far back as 2012. Now this place has been going since the 90s, I think.
I expected to be treated with understanding. Instead, I experienced retaliation from the range after I spoke up, and what appeared to me to be a punishment for reporting my abuse.
The most talked about example came in 2016 with actress Shelley Duvall. During her appearance, she showed clear signs of serious mental health struggles. She claimed Robin Williams was still alive and said she believed people were trying to harm her. The episode aired nationwide, and the backlash was immediate.
I don't think he's dead.
Where do you think he is?
Shape-shifting.
Do you see him?
Yes.
Will you let me get you to the doctor so you can get checked out?
If you so much as attempt to get my moon mole, I'll kill you.
Viewers and mental health professionals tore into the show, calling the interview irresponsible and harmful. Online, people were saying things like he should have his license revoked and that he had broken over 20 ethical therapy standards. What made the reaction worse was that Dr. Phil showed no public regret after the episode aired. Instead of slowing down, the situation kept spiraling. In 2017, things got even darker. A major investigation aired featuring former guests who had struggled with addiction. Several of them claimed the show put their health at risk just to get shocking footage. One guest even appeared on camera while visibly intoxicated.
I'm sober, I'm hurting a lot, and I'm shaking. My dad was there, and I went and talked to him in his dressing room, and I was completely sober. And then they pull me into my dressing room, and there was 2 liters of vodka and like some Red Bulls and orange juice and stuff like that. You know, being unsupervised by my parents, I drank the entire bottle. And then at some point, somebody gave me a Xanax. They said, this will calm your nerves. And so I had been drinking and took a Xanax, which I've never taken Xanax before in my life. And I know that can be a deadly combination, so why it was given to me, I don't know.
After that episode aired, stories started flooding Reddit and other forums. One commenter summed it up bluntly, saying, "The whole show is a scam. My sister went on it because she was a bully. The show completely changed the letter my mom had sent in to make it sound worse than it was. They edited my mom's responses to get the answers they wanted." More stories kept surfacing that painted a picture of a show willing to push limits just to boost entertainment value. Former guests and insiders claim people were encouraged to drink before filming, and that certain guests were framed as villains or bullies to create stronger reactions on camera. Dr. Phil's team publicly denied all of it, but the noise was toxic and hostile. They talked about fear, intimidation, and constant verbal pressure behind the scenes. On social media, especially Twitter, people who claimed they worked on the show shared blunt takes. One post that spread widely said, "I worked on enough Dr. Phil shows to know he's a narcissistic, misogynistic chauvinist. Add racist too. Yo, Oprah, come get your boy." That energy spilled over into online forums, with entire subreddits popping up under names like Cancelled Dr. Phil, showing just how fed up a lot of viewers had become. Despite all the backlash, the show kept moving.
He was acting the entire fucking time like he was trying to help her rather than completely exploiting this famous actress who's now in like, you know, this mental condition. It's just, it was I don't, how do you still sit down and watch that guy's fucking show? That guy and everything he's fucking connected to. Jesus, you don't have enough fucking money yet. You don't drag enough fucking penniless people onto your fucking show. You don't have enough honey boo boo people coming on your fucking show. You got to do that.
It was still pulling around 2 million viewers per episode, even though the ratings themselves were sliding fast, averaging around a 3.2. The brand was bruised, but it was still standing. Then came a moment that shifted everything. In April 2020, during the early stages of the pandemic, Dr. Phil appeared on Fox News and downplayed the seriousness of COVID-19. That appearance marked a clear turning point. After 2020, he started traveling to the US-Mexico border, filming alongside ICE officials and Border Patrol agents. His content shifted toward immigration and law enforcement, including on-camera moments like asking detainees, yeah, what have you been charged with? What once felt like neutral self-help advice began sounding more like political commentary. Dr. Phil soon found himself speaking at conservative conferences, criticizing woke culture, and rebranding as a defender of traditional American values.
We don't have anything to do with what happens with guests once they leave the stage. I mean, that's between the guardian and the parent and whatever facility they go to. So we're not involved in that. We don't have any feedback from them. So whatever happens once they're there, that's between them and the facility.
After 21 seasons, Dr. Phil officially ended his daytime show in 2023, but he was far from stepping away from media. Almost immediately, he launched a new venture called Merit Street Media. It was a Texas-based television network introduced that same year. Dr. Phil framed it as a bold reinvention, pitching the channel as something meant to fight for what he called the soul and sanity of America. On paper, the idea made sense. Instead of chasing a shrinking daytime TV audience, he aimed to build his own network for millions of Americans who felt ignored or pushed aside by mainstream media. The problem was execution. Almost from the start, the network struggled. Behind the scenes, money was burning fast, deals were falling apart, and staff morale dropped. By 2024, Merit Street Media was already laying off employees and bleeding cash.
Somewhere in the middle of August, I went on the Dr. Phil show. So part of the whole Dr. Phil show is they send these kids to either Turnabout or these other programs that are also in Utah. Coming in the middle of the night, they don't tell them where they're going. They just take them, they handcuff them, they put them in the car. It's basically like kidnapping. That's the thing with these places is you have no evidence. You don't have a phone there. They don't have cameras there. Like there's no evidence of none of this. And obviously all the staff is in on it. So they're not gonna snitch on each other. All you really have is the kids that are there. This place is all about taking away privileges. Like, okay, yeah, the phone is a privilege, TV, like all that, but they take away like necessity privileges, like sleeping on a bed, eating good food, not being cold. Okay, so Turnabout is in the middle of Escalante, Utah. It's a very, 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 very small town. It's got one gas station, one grocery store. Everybody knows everybody there. You see you're in the middle of nowhere. You know there's nowhere to run. If you try to run out there, they're gonna find you, you're gonna get in more trouble, or if you do get away, you're gonna get eaten by a coyote or something.
In 2025, lawsuits, unpaid obligations, and broken partnerships stacked up. Eventually, the company filed for bankruptcy with more than $100 million in debt. For many observers, it wasn't shocking, especially considering the expensive lifestyle still surrounding the brand, including constant private jet travel, even as Dr. Phil approached his mid-70s. What surprised people most was what came next. Just 2 weeks after the bankruptcy filing, Dr. Phil announced another media venture called Invoice Media. It was essentially the same idea, rebranded with a new name and fresh pitch. At that point, the pattern was hard to ignore. Dr. Phil went from Oprah's couch to ruling daytime television, then risked it all on a political shift that ended in financial collapse and legal trouble. Now it's up to you. Do you think Dr. Phil's downfall was inevitable, or could this gamble have worked under different circumstances? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like the video if you found it interesting, subscribe to the BeyondFame channel for more deep dives like this, share it with someone who remembers peak daytime TV, and we'll see you on the next one.